There's a night that I will never, ever forget. I was just a kid. I was small. I was uncertain. I was still fumbling my way through a world that felt way too big when my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Battle, decided to take me somewhere really cool. She was the first person who truly saw the spark in me, the one who recognized that words seemed to come alive when I wrote them, that the lines I drew carried more weight than I even realized. And on that Tuesday evening, after she tutored me, she opened a door that would change the way I thought about creativity forever. We drove in her little yellow and black Fiat as the sun sank behind the Pasadena Bridge. The sky, I still remember it. It was like molten orange. I remember the feeling in my chest that night, a strange mix of excitement and nervousness, like something important was about to happen, even if I couldn't name it yet. We parked and we walked down this narrow alley behind an old brick building right here in Old Town Pasadena. A small wooden sign above a back door read, "Loaf and Ladle." Inside, the air was thick with the scent of freshly baked poppy seed bread. And the warm glow wrapped the room like a secret. We found a small table. She ordered tea, and then the lights dimmed. A single spotlight sliced through the hush. A man, he stepped onto a small stage in the corner, and he began reading poetry. Not the dry, predictable kind from textbooks, but language alive and trembling with truth. Every word felt like a confession, every sentence a heartbeat. Then a woman sang, her voice spilling emotions I didn't even have words for yet. One after another, people stepped forward, not just to perform, but to reveal. They weren't hiding behind their art. They were standing inside it. And for the very first time, I understood. Creativity isn't about talent. It's about testimony. I think that we spend so much of our lives believing creativity is about skill alone, that it's measured by perfect brushstrokes, flawless sentences, or technical mastery. But the truth is, technique can make something beautiful and still leave it empty. What I witnessed that night was so different. These people, they weren't performing, they were becoming. They were taking the chaos of their lives, heartbreak, wonder, loss, hope, and shaping it into something that could be shared. They were telling the truth about who they were. And in doing so, they invited the rest of us to be honest too. This is the heart of creativity most people miss. It's not about how well you can do something. It's about how deeply you're willing to reveal yourself in the doing. The poet with trembling hands, reading about his father's death, he wasn't reciting lines. He was grieving out loud. The woman with the guitar, she wasn't just singing a melody. She was stitching together the fragments of a broken love story. Every word, every note, every piece of art was a declaration. This is what I carry. This is who I am becoming. Here's the paradox of creativity, at least one of them. We think we create to express ourselves, but more often, I think, we create to understand ourselves. Every act of art is both revelation and discovery. The poem, it teaches the poet something that they didn't know that they believed. The painting, it shows the painter what's still unresolved. The song gives the singer language for a feeling that had none. This is why creativity is so sacred. It's not just a mirror, it's a map. It helps us navigate our internal world. It traces the contours of our pain and joy, our failures and redemption, our shame and our hope. And in the process, it transforms us. Every project, every piece, every page is a small act of becoming. That's why I call it testimony, because the more honest we are with the work, the more it bears witness, not just to where we've been, but to who we're still becoming. Creativity doesn't freeze us in place. It moves us forward. If creativity is testimony, then every time we create, we're standing in a sacred courtroom, not to defend ourselves, but to declare something real, something human, something that might free someone else from their silence. You might think you're just writing a journal entry, but to someone else, it might be the very first time that they feel seen. You might think you're just sharing a song, but to someone listening in the dark, it might feel like hope. You might think you're just telling your story, but to a stranger on the other side of the world, it might sound like permission. And that is the deeper purpose of creativity, to bear witness, to tell the truth about the human condition, messy, unfinished, miraculous, and in doing so, remind others that they're not alone in theirs. The art of becoming is never complete, and maybe that's the point, because creativity isn't about presenting a finished self. It's about revealing the becoming self, the one who's still learning, still reaching, still wrestling, still alive. The most powerful thing about testimony is that it doesn't end with you. It ripples outward. It lands in hearts that you'll never see. It stirs questions in minds you'll never meet, and plants seeds in souls that you'll never know. Think back to that night at Loaf and Ladle. I wasn't on the stage. I wasn't reading poetry. I wasn't singing songs. I was just a boy sitting at a table, a cup of tea cooling beside me. And yet, I was being changed by what I witnessed. Their courage, it gave me language for something that had lived nameless inside me. Their vulnerability made space for my own. And that's what your creativity has the power to do. It can awaken something in someone else. It can stir the dormant parts of them. It can show them what's possible. It can remind them that they're not alone. We often dismiss our art, I think, because it feels small, because it feels insignificant. But you have no idea who might be waiting on the other side of your honesty. You don't know whose first step might be sparked by your willingness to tell the truth. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of testimony. It starts as your story, but it becomes your story. It weaves us together in shared humanity, stitching our private wounds into a collective healing. And in that weaving, we all become something more. So here's my challenge to you. Let's stop trying to impress with perfection. Let's stop hiding behind polish and performance. And let's start testifying with honesty, with courage, with the trembling authenticity that says, this is who I am and this is who I'm becoming. Your art isn't meant to be flawless. It's meant to be true. And truth, even whispered, even messy, has the power to change the world. Now go, honor truth, face what is, speak what's real, and create from the deepest place you know.